Hello everyone. In this segment we're going to learn how to weave in the ends of a granny square. So here's my completed granny square, and if you look on the other side I was hiding all those ends, but they're all here. So I'm going to show you how to weave in the ends, some that are in the middle of your work, but you'll also have one that's on the edge. And this one we're going to weave in slightly differently from the rest. So let's take a look at the edge of this granny square. And you'll see a nice row of chain stitches. I want to continue this row so that the chain stitch looks like it's continuous. So my yarn is coming out of this last chain stitch. I've threaded my yarn on a tapestry needle, and I am going to go through the next chain on this round. So this is my last chain. Here's my yarn from my tail coming through. I'm going to go into this chain, go through both legs of the chain, and pull it through. Now I'm going to go back in to that loop. It's the loop that the tail was coming out of. I'm going to go back into that loop and then go into the next row of stitches and pull my yarn through, and that will create another chain which will make this edge continuous. But I also need to weave in this end now. So what I like to do is try to stay within the same color, because the ends won't show so much. And I'm going to follow the path of my stitches. I want to get to this section because I'm going to bury my yarn in that corner section. So I'm just going to go through some stitches so that I can get my needle to this point. And how you do this doesn't really matter, as long as you're trying to follow the path of the stitches that are there, just so the whole thing blends in a little better. Okay, so I'm there, and I'm going to go through all these stitches all the way around. You see my needle popping out the other side. I'll pull that through. I want to go through one more section. So I need to get my needle here. So I am just going to sort of just travel and weave my way down until I get to that point. So this is where I want to be. I'm going to take my needle and go through all the stitches in that cluster, pull my needle through, and then I can cut off the end of my tail, nice and close, and the end is woven in. So for one of these interior ends, it's going to work the same way. I'm going to thread my needle, now my yarn looks like it has already gone through here, so I'm going to travel back up and go through this set of clusters. So I'm just going to follow that path again. To get to this point, So I can put the yarn, my needle all the way through. The clusters of that section. Now I want to go back down here because I want to stay within this pink color. So I'm just going to work my way down, trying to make this as hidden as possible. Okay, so now I'm going to go through this cluster, pull my needle through. I've been through 2 clusters now, so I can cut my yarn. And I'll do the same thing to the rest of my ends.